But as a single capacity that people have some of, or a lot of, or very little of. And if you have a lot of it, you're smart in everything. If you don't have much, you're dumb in everything. Over 25 other, so you could be good with one intelligence. It doesn't predict whether you'll be good in other ones. So you might be very good in spatial intelligence, finding your way around, handling complex spatial environments. You may or may not be good with music. You might be very good at music. We don't know if you're good in understanding other people. That's the basic idea of multiple intelligence theory.
The famous IQ test is that?
If you want to know how somebody will do in a certain kind of school, you can use an IQ test. But I'll tell you something much better than an IQ test: last year's grades. If I know how well you did in school last year, I can predict much more accurately how you will do this year than if I know your IQ. IQ tests are still valuable for certain purposes, but in my view, they don't begin to cover the whole range of intelligences. For example, we were talking about naturalist intelligence. There's nothing on the IQ test which talks about whether you can make distinctions in nature. Understanding of yourself, nothing in the intelligence test. So the more that we value these other intelligences, the more we would need to be able to assess for them.
But do you think we have to have multiple intelligences tests?
No. I think that if somebody is doing well, we should say a prayer of thanks and leave them alone. If somebody's having difficulty in school, then we want to understand why. If somebody's having difficulty at the workplace, you might have straight A's, perfect score in school, but when you're in the workplace, you could be a disaster, not working with other people. So we need to know what intelligences are lacking or need to be enhanced.
How is it possible to apply your theory at education nowadays?
Well, the theory has had enormous impact in education all around the world, much more than I ever would have anticipated. In the summer of 2009, we published a book called Multiple Intelligences Around the World, 42 authors from 15 different countries describing it. So it's had lots of influence, but the influence didn't come from me. I didn't say, because we have 8 or 9 intelligences, we need to do this, this, this. Rather, people took this scientific claim and they drew different educational implications. After 25 years, I think there are only 2 major implications of the theory. One is that we should individuate. That means we should know as much as possible about each learner and teach that person in ways that he can learn and assess him in ways in which he can show what he's learned. The other one is to pluralize. That means anything we teach, we should teach it in a number of different ways, because then you reach more students, because some learn more from language, some learn more from music, some learn more from role play, some learn more from humor. And also, any person who understands well can think about things in lots of ways. If you think about yourself, your family, your community, you can't just talk about it. You can make a drawing, you can act it out. And so individuation and pluralization, to me, those are the 2 primary educational implications. But in Latin America, one of the things we found is people use the theory as a way of democratizing schools, calling attention to more abilities, flattening the hierarchy, even trying to change society. That's nothing that was in my original mind, but if people want to use this